Good afternoon, curling fans. John Cullen with you once again for the SGI Best of the West ladies final between Team BC 1, Corryn Brown, and Team Manitoba 2, Beth Peterson. Should be a great game here from the Nutana Curling Club in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. $10,000 on the line. And we get a wave from the team as they notice themselves on the TV screen out on the ice. BC is going to start with the hammer here. This is a rematch of their round robin game, which Corryn Brown won 6-5. Beth Peterson was in control for a majority of the contest, leading 5-3 heading into the 8th. And then Corryn Brown managed to sneak out a final end 3 to get a 6-5 win. But they were both victorious in their respective semifinals, so we get a rematch here on a Sunday afternoon to see who will be the first ever winner of the Best of the West. And as I said, a $10,000 check awaiting the winner, so lots at stake here. For both of these two teams, will be the final tournament of the year for both of them.
Yeah, right there. Go. Endless. Came off a touch, eh? All right.
Yeah, it's the two, like, Rob was the two boys.
Move this way, yep.
So we're going to see a little blank end here, it looks like, and this is similar to the start that we saw from Peterson and Brown in their opening round robin game. So we'll take a look at how these teams got here. As I said, they started out in the same pool, and so you'll hear a lot of the same names as I read off their path to the final. But Corryn Brown started out with a 6-1 win over Kayla Skurlik of Alberta, and then had that aforementioned 6-5 win over Beth Peterson. And then she knew that she was already clinched first in the pool, so maybe had a little bit of a lapse game in her third round robin game, losing to Lorraine Schneider 9-6 before rebounding last night to beat Mackenzie Zacharias, the top-ranked team in the competition, 6-3. And as for Peterson, she beat that Lorraine Schneider team in her first game 8-4 before losing to Corryn Brown 6-5. Then she beat Kayla Skurlik 8-7 before beating BC2 Kayla McMillan 8-5 in the semifinal last night. So chance for Manitoba to take down two BC teams en route to the championship here, but I'm sure Corryn Brown will have something to say about that.
Yep. Line's good. Choppy. Little tight. Choppy. Yeah, line's tight. Short. Hard, guys. Hard, guys. Go. All the way. Go. Good.
So that rollout from Sam Fisher
Good. Just a little.
will allow Kat Dirksen a chance to get her draw weight. And we'll meet the teams. Team Corryn Brown from the Kamloops Curling Club. Skip is Corryn Brown. Third, Aaron Pincott. Second, Rachel Erickson. And lead, Sam Fisher. As we get a look at Rachel Erickson there, she is filling in. It's been a bit of a whirlwind here for Team Brown. Originally, Desiree Hawes, of course, the regular second on the team. She's an accountant, so as you might imagine, if you check your calendar, it's tax season right now. Hopefully that's maybe not a reminder for some of you watching, because you don't have a whole lot of time left if you owe the government some of your money. But in any case, very busy time of the work year for Desiree, so she was going to take this event off, and then Corryn Brown had Kristen Streifel originally filling in for Des, and then she got injured playing hockey. And so they got Rachel Erickson from right here in Merrifield, Saskatchewan to fill in. And so she has been playing great for them all year. And you may notice Rachel, or recognize Rachel, from playing with Team Chelsea Carey this year. They were one of the wild card teams at the Scotties, just missing the playoffs there. And Rachel will be playing with Team Carey once again next year, along with Jolene Campbell and Liz Fife, who was previously on Tracy Fleury's team. So should be a good squad next year for those ladies. Of course, Fisher, Pincott, Brown have been playing together since they were kids. They're all from Kamloops, all native Kamloopsians, Kamloopites. I have no idea. I gotta look that up more when I curl, because when I commentate. I never seem to know the demonyms of cities. Countries, I'm usually pretty good, but cities, who knows? Loopies? Let's call them Loopies. That sounds more fun. So they're three native Loopies who have been curling together since they were juniors, of course, winning the 2013 Canadian Junior Championship, and have been to the Scotties a couple times as well. And on the other side of the sheet is Team Beth Peterson out of the Assiniboine Curling Club in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Skip is Beth Peterson, third Laura Burtnick, second Catherine Dirksen, and lead Melissa Kurz. And Peterson also with a fill-in here, Laura Burtnick. Normally plies her trade for Darcy Robertson, but got the call here. The usual third for Beth Peterson is Jenna Loader, but she is not a U30 player, so they needed to get a fill-in here, and Laura Burtnick has stepped up admirably, helping them get all the way to this final. And also a rarity in this field, these are two teams that are sticking together next year. So Beth Peterson has announced, obviously not with Laura Burtnick and Rachel Erickson, but two teams that are looking to continue their success from these past couple years. And so a chance here to maybe put some money in the coffers for next season and have a good feeling leading into the 2022-23 curling season. As that one, tough to say whether it's on the rings or not. Team Brown seems to think it is. I think Beth Peterson will probably hit it regardless.
Okay, just make sure. I think it's out.
Both teams seem pretty happy to play for the blank here, so Peterson not going to take any chances.
Oh, no. Clean. No, cat. Gotta go, cat. Really gotta go, cat. Hard. Gotta go.
Trying to bring this over.
A little more. Okay.
And a nice sweep from Kat Dirksen to
Good weight, Laura.
get that red one out there. It was a little bit of a late finish. We've seen that on this TV sheet all week long. The rocks are curling. There's been a ton of curl, about 4 to 6 feet of curl, depending on what shot you're playing and what time of the game it is, but it has been a late finish, so you'll see that in this game. If you're a little bit heavy on a draw or a takeout, it takes a little bit longer to curl, and that's led to some missed shots. And so we saw that a little bit there. Obviously, Laura Burtnick didn't miss the shot, but certainly took a long time to come over. And so Erin Pincott won't find the house here. So up to Beth Peterson if she wants to try to draw around and maybe get a force. And she will indeed. So I like this call from Peterson. Of course, there's always the risk that you maybe give up a skip's deuce here if you
To be nice here, eh?
don't make this perfectly, but I like the call if you can get around and
Speed's real nice.
potentially force Brown to one.
Yeah? You guys know? I mean, even if you're fully open edge on edge, like they can't hit it, it's jamming. You know what I mean? Yeah. See the draw the button? Stop 8.
So we get our first look at Beth Peterson here. Looked like this end was heading for a blank, but Erin Pincott coming short of the house will give Beth Peterson the opportunity to draw around this corner guard.
Stop 8. Curling big. Stay close. Yeah, bend for line if you can. No, you're okay. Justin.
So just a little rub off the corner guard, and it's actually a pretty good spot for Peterson. If you were going to leave it open but a little deeper, might have given Brown a chance to hit and roll behind that guard, but just that little tip off the guard makes it so that Brown's going to likely have to roll away, and we're probably going to get a blank. Key here for Brown is you just want to stick in the house. If you roll out, then it gives Peterson a chance to come around that corner guard, and then you're getting forced. So just need to make sure that you're sticking around after you hit this yellow. So Erickson on this one, right out of the hand, and it will roll a little bit, but not a ton. So up to Peterson here. She could hit, but she could also try to come around it for the force.
I thought just 3/4 or like 7/8. Just flop? Yeah, just flop. Do you want me to throw 9 though? I think so. Yeah.
Obviously, in this first end, no need to force it for Peterson. I don't think you'd find too many teams in this situation that would come around everything, but if she wanted to go crazy, the option is there.
Pick half. Yeah. I think you just, I mean,
So you just have to make sure, again, if you're Peterson here, you don't want to jam on that back red one. So that's just kind of what her and Laura Burtnick are talking about. It's kind of a tricky little shot because you want to roll onto the rings so that Corryn Brown has to make a takeout on her last one for the blank. But you also want to make sure that you don't jam. So kind of a sneaky little tricky shot here for Manitoba in the first end, but Beth Peterson should be up to the task here. Final stone. Is on this all the way. This is over curling. Good sweep from Kurz prevents it from hitting that corner guard, but Corryn Brown will get the blank for free.
Yeah. Sorry, it's protected a bit. Good brush. Whoops.
So you can hear Beth Peterson laughing off that shot. That's one thing I've noticed covering the Peterson rink this weekend, always laughing and smiling out there. Beth in particular never really seems to get too bothered by misses or what's going on around her. They've been a joy to watch all week long. I say week, it's been 3 days. Feels like a week for me. This is game number 8. Commentating wise, so you know, trying to hold. No, this is 9, game 9. See, that's how you know it's been too long. So BC and Manitoba will blank the first. We'll put a couple zeros on the scoreboard. Team BC will have the hammer when we come back. You're watching the SGI Canada Best of the West. Welcome back, curling fans. John Cullen with you once again. You're watching the ladies' final here at the SGI Canada Best of the West. It's Team BC, Corryn Brown against Team Manitoba, Beth Peterson. And a pretty cautious first end, leading to a blank, and we might see a corner guard go up here as Melissa Kurz floats her first one into the back four. Oh, no, they're going to elect to hit this one as well. And Sam will just get enough of that stone to push it out of the rings. So I thought maybe Beth Peterson would throw up a center guard here, but seems like they're happy with Corryn Brown hitting it.
Just leave it high, leave it high, leave it here. You're over curling. Stop it. Make sure you're in though. All the way in, all the way in, all the way in.
And now we'll see a corner guard thrown since that Kurz stone is in the top 12. And so the corner guard made for Sam Fisher, and this is a similar start to what we saw in the round robin game between these two teams, blanking the first end and then getting down to business in the second. Corryn Brown scoring 2 with hammer back in that round robin game. We'll see if she can do the same here.
Mine's a little tight. Tight. Not Melissa, always Laura. Hard guys, hard. Get a little tighter, little tighter. Go, go, go. Yep, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay.
And so that will guard the yellow stone, Kat Dirksen. So Rachel Erickson with an opportunity here to come around the corner guard. And with that Manitoba rock being so high in the house, should be not all that difficult for Erickson to get shot here. This looks a little hot. And I'm not sure this one's going to slow down. It will not. Beth Peterson just with a light dust. And that'll go through the rings. So we saw this a little bit actually in the doubles game this morning. I think this sheet is playing just a little bit faster today than it was yesterday. We saw both Alberta and Saskatchewan in that game just a little heavy on draws quite a few times, even towards the end of the game. So might be something to keep an eye on here in this one as well.
I think we're heavy. Room. Top 4. Okay, top 4, room. Switch and go if you need. Line's good, line good, straight.
Just realizing that
Hard.
in the first 2 finals, we have all 4 provinces represented here at the Best of the West tournament, which is pretty awesome. Alberta and Saskatchewan in the doubles final this morning, and then Manitoba and BC here in this one. And then later this afternoon, it'll be Manitoba, Saskatchewan. So no 2 finals the same either, which is also kind of fun. Colton Lott against Rylan Kleider in the final today at 4:30. Sam Fisher on this one right away. And this is all over the center guard. Rachel Erickson losing the broom head there.
Okay. I mean, I know they're not
So it's Manitoba lying 3 without hammer. Maybe the one saving grace for BC is that they're all in the 12-foot. But yeah, it just looked like Rachel Erickson a little light on that
I
one.
like where this rock is. It's doubles. Like,
If you're a little lighter, the rocks will curl a lot, and we see that there with Erickson as she just bumps that yellow stone right into the house. So Peterson going to ask Burtnick to tap this one up, I believe. So calling an audible here, going to try and come around the stone in the top 12 instead of tapping it up. And that works just as well. Gets a little kiss off the back, but it's Manitoba lying 4 without the hammer.
I called it wrong. Like, he threw it good, and they said top 4, so then I...
Run it that way? Yeah. Okay. If I get that top one, that's fine. Just a hair high on this side. Is that what you're seeing? We're trying to catch this here. Is that what you like? Yeah. There's some in there, I think. Yeah. Just a hair high.
So Aaron Pincott gonna try and get some of these yellows moving here with a run back.
Really have to go.
And that will help. So over curled a little bit on Pincott, but helps take that cluster of yellow stones away from the center, but it is still Manitoba lying 3 without the hammer.
A little less? You think it's equal then? Okay. No, they took less on their draw to the
So Laura Burtnick just looking to put up a guard here.
Line's good. Easy. 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 You gotta work. Cat. Cat. Whoa. Go, Cat. If you can, Cat. Keep going till it stops. That's the center. Go, Cat. Go. Hard, hard, hard. Okay, you're good. You're good. You're good. Nice shot.
And great shot there from Laura Burtnick. So still some cleanup work to be done here for Aaron Pincott.
You just kind of bounce up.
Great shot. There's that.
You like
drop.
that?
The first one. Bundy.
It's gonna be tough to get this out.
Came over nice at the end. That came over nice at the end.
Yeah, it did.
For a
And,
while,
and like we're
staying
kind of
up.
hard pressed to get this one out right now.
Really carved in.
Yeah.
So Aaron's gonna come down and take a look here.
Pretty natural to hit quarter rock. Wait, I just don't know how good making that double, guys. Like, it's really hard to get this out.
So Corryn Brown wants to play the thin double off of the yellow that's just behind that yellow in the 12-foot. But Aaron Pincott is a little worried that it doesn't look that natural from the hack. So you can see here, this is what they are thinking of doing, just coming down here, making a thin double off the red, and you might even get a little spin up and roll behind the guard. But Aaron Pincott was worried she just can't see enough of that rock from the hack.
I think I'd rather that than I don't think that does us any good.
So
Across the face.
looks like they might be running back this red one. So similar shot, you'd run it back and try and catch the middle of these two and through.
So,
Go there less. Try to get this one. Does that look close for ice?
So if you're Aaron Pincott, you just want to make sure you get something in the house moving. This is close. And again, still Manitoba lying 3, but it is better than it was.
There? Yeah, do you think she's ever doing that though? Like, do you ever come in the rings? I think I do that. I just was wondering, like, tighter. No, we're just talking about it. I don't mind a little tighter. Yeah, just choke it off a bit. Okay. Even if she makes the double, we're still shot. I had you there for the guard. Yeah, I like the same. Think I'll come over? Well, I got over center, but okay, a little left. Okay. Top 12, top 8. Yeah, kind of hard to know where to put the broom. I took just a...
So just looking to throw kind of an in-house guard here is Beth Peterson.
Nice, 15.
The worry was that if they threw the center guard straight up, then Corryn Brown could come around and freeze on the one that's just biting the button, and then that might give them an out, might even give them a chance for 2. So Peterson figures if she's just sort of biting the 8-foot, even if Corryn Brown makes a double, she'll still be lying 1 and we'll have options. But you don't want to be heavy here, that's for sure.
Okay, close for line. No, you got to curl. Less, straight. Straight. Whoa, yeah, you're bouncing off. Hard. Not bad.
And so that just over curls on Peterson, so Corryn Brown will have the freeze. But safe to say this is a big shot here. If you come light and guard that yellow, you're in huge trouble. If you come heavy and click off, Peterson will have a chance to hit and potentially kind of roll behind those guards, and you have no draw path to the button. So this is a very key shot here for Corryn Brown early. So big shot here for Corryn Brown with her first. Needs a freeze. This is way out there. This is way out there. And Team BC might be in some BC. Big crap. Peterson is lying 4, and not too many better feelings for a skip than this one, where you're already lying 4 and you just think, where can I put this to drill my opponent even harder? So again, for Peterson, I think if she just comes into the top 8-foot, just biting the 8-foot would be perfect. It would eliminate the red slash to the one that's counting.
Yep.
And if Corryn Brown throws the double to get the one off the button, she's given up a steal of 2. So I think if Beth Peterson can be right on the center line, just biting the 8-foot or half in the 8-foot, I don't know how Corryn Brown gives up less than 2.
Felt close. Whoa. Easy. More line.
And this is looking a similar line to Corryn Brown, not curling at all.
Gotta cross it.
Trying to bring this one over is Kat Dirksen. If you could get it to the center line.
Yep. That's good.
And so that worked out pretty well for Beth Peterson. They're sitting 5 without the hammer, and
spot is a battle.
No real great options here for Brown. She might, yeah, I don't know. Might have the skinny in off the red. So we get a look here at the sweep from Kat Dirksen, bringing that one over to the center. Beth Peterson watching the TV to make sure it gets in the right spot. So Corryn Brown just looking to see maybe she can get this rock through the hole and just onto the yellow here. Failing that, if you hit this one just on the outside right here, you might be able to get it coming off of here and spinning towards the button. But not easy. And if you're ever wide or you're ever thick, you're giving up a big steal here. So tough end for the ladies from British Columbia. And Corryn Brown is facing 5 on her last. Final stone.
No! Close!
This needs to curl.
Hard on the red, Reef. Hard!
This needs to curl. And talk about a game saver. What a shot from Corryn Brown. That is a bingo bango. I'm getting it from all the guys in the background here. What a shot from Corryn Brown. Up against 5. Finds her way to that run back. And that's as tricky of a 1 point as you'll see in curling. Beth Peterson will have the hammer when we come back. You're watching the SGI Best of the West.
Our roots might be simple, but our methods are far from it. Canadian dairy farmers proudly meet some of the most stringent standards in the world, including the 42 food safety requirements set by our national quality program. We do it by working hard and by ensuring that every cow is monitored every day so that we can bring you high quality milk. High Canadian standards. That's dairy farming forward.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
So let's take one more look at this shot from Corryn Brown. Through the port, perfect control weight, getting rid of the one rock on the button. Unbelievable shot. I think my heart just finally started beating again as Corryn Brown, big sigh of relief. It was an end where just about everything that could go wrong did. But Corryn Brown reaching down into the deepest recesses of her bag of tricks to pull that one out and get BC on the scoreboard. So they lead 1-0, but Beth Peterson has to feel good with her first chance with the hammer here in 3. So Sam Fisher's guard a little high here. And this looks maybe a little heavy from Melissa Kurz. And indeed it is. Beth Peterson will sweep that into the back 12. So we'll see what happens here in this end. Sometimes an end like that can work in the favor of a team like Peterson, knowing that, hey, we had the other team on the ropes and we had a great end. Yes, they ended up scoring, but you know, you get buoyed by a little bit of confidence when your opposition misses that many shots. But then it can also go the other way where Team BC goes, okay, wow, we got that really bad end out of our system. And we're just ready to take on the rest of this game, and they get a little bit of momentum that way. So we'll see what happens here in the third. Sam Fisher, unfortunately, just rubbing that guard. And so it'll be a chance for Peterson to lie 2 here. So talked earlier about Corryn Brown's history, winning the Canadian Juniors in 2013. Also won a Youth Olympics bronze medal, did Corryn. And as I said, they've been to the Scotties twice in 2020 and 2021. They made the championship round in 2020 and then missed the playoffs in 2021. Peterson also at that Scotties in 2021.
Big cat, go! Go, go, go! Okay, well then.
And they had a much better time than Corryn did. They finished 7-5, made the championship round, just missed the playoffs by a single win.
You like that?
Good twist those ones.
As for this season, both teams sort of
That's a really high guard.
struggling a little bit when it mattered the most at the provincial Scotties. For Corryn Brown, just never really got going there. I commentated that entire event, and they just weren't playing like themselves. Never really got things going. Was an event held in their hometown, and things in BC a little sketchy. They ended up having to, because of COVID, cancel the provincials. Then they had to reschedule the provincials for the same dates, so it wasn't able to be in an arena anymore and ended up being in the Kamloops Curling Club. Maybe that was a contributing factor for Brown, who knows, but they ended up losing the 3-4 game to Sarah Wark. And for Beth Peterson, also a performance that she would like to forget at the Manitoba Scotties, as they went 2-3 in their pool and missed the playoffs. But both these teams, great young teams on tour. A lot of respect from a lot of the players around the country for these two teams, and they're also ranked very closely right now. Corryn Brown ranked 32 and Beth Peterson ranked 43 on the WCT rankings. So two very evenly matched teams. We saw that in their first game, and I'm sure we'll see that here again today as Kat Dirksen trying to hit this to lie 2, and they will just tap it towards the middle.
Like that? Kind of off there, or you can just go here. I like that. Like that?
All right.
So BC now lying shot is just going to try and draw around that long center guard.
Gotta be fully. Gotta be fully. Starting to curl, guys. Gotta be fully. Hard curls.
And this looks like it's a little short. So Rachel Erikson's still been unable to dial into her draw weight so far today. And it's a chance once again for Peterson to lie 2.
You're just gonna be close to T-line, that's all. This is fine, Kat. I don't mind going bigger though. 10?
So hit and roll here for Kat Dirksen.
Yep.
Would love to get behind those guards, but a roll out to the wings isn't terrible either.
Whoa.
And will not quite get the roll. So chance for a double here for Erin Pincott. And this one is really over curling. So they will hit and roll out, and it's another end where BC's really been failing to get things going. Manitoba with Lots of chances here to lie to and take control.
So it's like lots.
I think it'll be okay.
Okay, we're a little snug. Not close. Okay. Top 8. Lines holding. Room. Just top 8. Girls, anything. Holding. Curl. Yep, got a curl. Okay, all you. Line's getting good now. Still got a curl. Curl.
So Laura Burtnick would love to get this one around these two guards here.
Keep going till it stops. Go, go, go. Okay, Brad. Good shot.
Really good sweep from Kat Dirksen. So it is Manitoba once again lying to, and that one is almost fully buried. You can see maybe about a quarter of it from the hack.
What? 2/3? No, at least a third. Come on, guys. Back.
Got to sneak this one by. And they do, so nice shot from Aaron Pincott there. And the two teams just trading off shot rock here.
Stay nice.
I think for Laura Burtnick, nose here would be just fine.
Oh, no. Close? No. Melissa. You gotta go.
This
You
is
gotta go.
way out there.
Gotta go. Okay.
And so that will hit and roll out. So another opportunity here for Team BC to get out of an end that they've been trailing for most of it. So Corryn Brown's first. Needs to stick around here. Doesn't want to give Peterson the free draw behind the guard. And stick around she will. So nice shot from Brown. And now I think Peterson's going to chase the blank here, looking for a hit and roll away from those center guards. But it's the same story here for Peterson. Just need to make sure that your shooter sticks in the rings. You don't want to give Corryn Brown a chance to come around everything and force you.
Just a touch more. Whoa. No.
So Beth Peterson just looking to hit and stick around here.
Yes. Cut. Oh, clean.
And she will make no mistakes. So still an opportunity here for Corryn Brown.
Little big.
She could hit and roll behind these two red guards and still potentially force Peterson here. She'll have to make an absolutely dead perfect roll, but
Yeah, that's really
the option is there.
fine.
So final stone here for Corryn Brown. And Rachel Erickson picking this up right away. Looks like they're sweeping for a piece here. And they will just hang on. So great sweeping from the Saskatchewan native, and Beth Peterson will get the free blank here. Just right out of Corryn Brown's hand.
Did you get? Thanks.
But nice sweep there from Erickson, and no harm, no foul.
My best shot. Did you hear her in that game? Our first game. I was like, all right, you got this. Let's keep going.
And so Peterson will make no mistake, obviously. And we'll put another couple zeros on the board. It's a little bit of a cagey opening here in the women's final. 1-0 for Corryn Brown. Beth Peterson will have the hammer when we come back. You are watching the SGI Canada Best of the West.
Simple, but our methods are far from it. Canadian dairy farmers proudly meet some of the most stringent standards in the world, including the 42 food safety requirements set by our national quality program. We do it by working hard and by ensuring that every cow is monitored every day so that we can bring you high quality milk. High Canadian standards. That's dairy farming forward.
Welcome back, curling fans, to the Nutana Curling Club here in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. John Cullen with you once again. It is the ladies' final of the SGI Canada Best of the West, presented by SaskMilk. And it has been a story of two teams here not really able to assert themselves on the game so far. Corryn Brown making a phenomenal shot in the second end to get BC out of a ton of trouble. And other than that, it's been just a story of two teams not really able to get their shots exactly in the right positions that they would want. And so we'll see if Beth Peterson here with the hammer can get something going. Peterson has been the better team so far, but doesn't have anything to show for that yet. I'm sure they would love to take the lead into the fourth end break.
Doesn't need to cross. Gotta stop.
If you're just joining us, this has been a week-long tournament here or weekend-long tournament rather, to crown the Best of the West, the top two men's and ladies teams under 30 from BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba, all competing here. And these are the two that remain on the ladies' side, Brown and Peterson. And they're playing for a very nice $10,000 purse. The winner will take home $10,000, the loser $5,000. So nice little payday for these young teams. And unfortunately, Melissa Kurz's guard slid into the rings, so Sam Fisher with the opportunity to make a takeout here. And Sam Fisher will make that, so it is BC lying 2. So Peterson was just debating about whether or not to throw a corner guard. Seemed like that was her preference, but the front end deciding that they would rather hit, so that's what Melissa Kurz will do here. Just looking for a hit and maybe a roll over towards that red one.
Clean. Yep. Yep. Oh shit. Hard, Laura. Hard, Laura. Clean. 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 Wow. Sorry.
And that one will over curl. So opportunity now for Team BC to split the rings.
Throw. Better.
And that will stick around. So nice shot from Rachel Erickson. So now it now begins the end-long quest for Manitoba to try and get these stones grouped and get a double and perhaps get a blank here.
Clean. Yep. Gotta go. Gotta go. Really gotta go, Laura.
And this is curling a lot. And it will go right on by. That turn has proven to be pretty tricky. That's the second rock in a row there that's curled a little bit more than Beth Peterson was expecting. So it's BC now lying 2. This home end proving to be very good for the team without Hammer. As we saw last time down here, Beth Peterson was lying a bundle for pretty much the whole end, and now Corryn Brown with the chance to lie 3.
Top button. Top button. Really starting to curl now, guys. Top button. Okay, leave it high.
And a nice shot there from Rachel Erickson. So it will be Corryn Brown lying 3 without Hammer.
Yeah, 11-5. Yep, gotta go. Hard, gotta go. Hard. Yes, hard. Hard.
And that will roll out. So I'm sure we'll see a repeat shot here from Erin Pincott.
I didn't make a couple good ones. I was going to use this one. Stick around the house would be nice.
Yeah. 1 out of 10.
Right, too. The old-fashioned way. By that I mean, I'm not sure what.
Line's nice. Top button. Let it sit, let it sit, let it sit. It looks like sail.
This is quite a bit of weight here from Erin Pincott. Will it slow down in time? It will. So, I mean, really accomplishes the same thing as being top 8, still leaves no double. So Laura Burtnick just looking for a hit and roll here to maybe just get in front of this red one and maybe force a miss.
Yeah.
That will roll just a little bit too far, but it is Manitoba lying 1. Pincott will make the hit and stick, so BC lying 3. And again, just a case for Manitoba if they could maybe roll to the right spot to try and force a BC miss.
That was 11.
So this out turn a little bit straighter than the in turn. And we're seeing this one run a little straighter indeed, but they might be able to make a little backdoor double here. And they will, so not a bad result there for Manitoba. But BC will still be able to split the house and lie 2 here. So yeah, you can hear Burtnick and Peterson talking there. Burtnick asking if she popped it. And I don't think that was really released. We've just seen a few takeouts come down here on this out turn side. And they've run really straight. Sorry, my brain shut off there for 3 seconds. You know, that happens sometimes. Usually when that happens to you, you're just like watching TV or whatever. You're not commentating a live stream of curling for hundreds of people. Thankfully, my brain remembered what sentence I was speaking when I came back to talking. That's the worst. You're like, oh yeah, where was I? What was I talking about again? What I'm talking about is this ladies' final here at the Best of the West. Corryn Brown, her first here in the 4th. They're up 1 thanks to Corryn's phenomenal shot in the second end. A true game saver. And now just needs to try to not leave a double here for Beth Peterson. And that's in a pretty good spot. I think Peterson could make the double though.
Are you seeing this or no?
I don't know. I first thought was the out.
Okay. Did you just roll a little flatter with the end?
I know, that's why I almost thought a 9.
Okay.
The out, but
we know the out. We've played this way.
yeah. It's like 9 or 9?
I think 9. Big roll.
Okay, it's 9. No, you can't roll. Okay. It's like it's flattish, going for a bit more, so you can hit more, but stay higher, you know? Get it over there. This should come up a bit, I think, eh?
So Beth Peterson looking for the hit and roll over to the red one. I don't think she's trying super aggressively for the double, but if you hit this one in the right spot, you might be able to roll over there and get both. Melissa Kerr is on this right away. Can they get it over there and move this red far enough? Very nice shot from Beth Peterson.
Ooh, you held that. Good brush.
And so now for Corryn, it's just a case of getting rid of this yellow one.
I thought we were nosing.
You're probably giving Peterson a double, but if you could ever line it up so that it jams on that back yellow, you might force Peterson here. So final stone here for Corryn Brown. Just needs to make this yellow one go away. Would love to stick around. And great shot there from Corryn. So Beth Peterson will be forced to the single. An end where Manitoba really just couldn't get anything going. BC was able to keep 2 in the rings at all times, or 3, and get the result they were looking for. So Beth Peterson makes this. It'll be very similar to the doubles final this morning. It will be 4 ends for nothing, as we'll just have a tie game and Corryn Brown with the hammer. So final stone for Beth Peterson. Just needs a piece of the 8-foot for her single.
Line's good. Need 8-foot. Need 8-foot. Low then, low then, low then. Your basketball
Running
low.
a bit.
Curling big. Running, that's running. 14-5. No, no, no.
And Peterson makes it look easy, taking a piece of the 4-foot for her single, and so we will basically reset the clock here. It'll be 1-1 Corryn Brown with the hammer when we come back after this 4th end break. You're watching the SGI Canada Best of the West.
Our roots might be simple, but our methods are far from it. Canadian dairy farmers proudly meet some of the most stringent standards in the world, including the 42 food safety requirements set by our national quality program. We do it by working hard and by ensuring that every cow is monitored every day so that we can bring you high quality milk. High Canadian standards. That's dairy farming forward.
Hi, I'm Mike Squires, and I invite you to come down to SMP and see why we're Saskatchewan's #1 Chevrolet dealer. We've been serving Saskatoon and surrounding areas for over 50 years. With over 400 new and used vehicles on the lot, SMP will have the vehicle you're looking for. We also have an amazing staff with hundreds of years of combined experience in sales, service, and collision repair to help you with all your automotive needs. Come visit us at 715 Circle Drive East or online at spchev.ca.
When you buy a lottery ticket in Saskatchewan, your money really goes a long way. More than 12,000 sport, culture, and recreation groups receive funding from Sask Lotteries every year.
Hello, curling fans, and welcome back to continuing coverage of the SGI Canada Best of the West. John Cullen with you. This is the ladies' final. Team BC 1, Corryn Brown against Team Manitoba 2, Beth Peterson. $10,000 in the title of Best of the West is on the line here. And it has been a bit of a Western Canada game so far, as we've had 2 blanks and 2 singles, and it's 1-1 after 4.
Copy. He's good. Holding. He's holding. No, no, no. We're not on it. We're not even
So
close.
Corryn Brown has the hammer back, and the last time she had the hammer, she had to make a miracle shot against 5 to save the game for her team. So we'll see if they maybe have a little bit more luck with the hammer this time. And taking a look at some of the stats here now that we're halfway through the game, and a couple key battles emerging here so far. I've got my main man Ryder on the stats here, and it's been Beth Peterson with the high score of the game, curling 88%, and Corryn Brown curling 78%. So it's been pretty close among the skips, but it's been in the second spot where we've had some some swings as Kat Dirksen at 63% and Rachel Erickson at 56. So that's been sort of the key area where the ends have turned. Certainly that end in the second where Corryn had to make that shot against 5. Rachel Erickson missing both of her shots, and one of her misses actually raised a Manitoba rock into the ring. So that sort of was the start of the problems in that end for BC. So we'll see if those two players, we know they're both excellent players, can pick it up here in the second half of the game. But overall team percentages, Peterson with a slight edge over Team Brown. And I think that's what we've seen in the game so far. Peterson has maybe had the end set up just a little bit better than Team Brown.
Back 4, back 8.
Except for perhaps this 5th. Corryn Brown sitting 2 buried early.
Try, I guess. It's really high.
And this looks quite heavy from Kat Dirksen.
I think you gotta try.
And just clips that red and rolls out. So it is still BC sitting 2.
Do you corner our top one? I don't think that's bad. Okay.
What do you guys think? I think that's a tolerance is light.
Okay. Yeah. A little flight.
Top 8.
Flight.
Top 12.
Where's it?
Top 8.
Where's line?
Just a guard.
And so trying to put a third one in here is Rachel Erickson, but sweepers are indicating it's maybe a little light. And so unfortunately Erickson unable to capitalize on that mistake from Dirksen, but still BC lying 2 and well guarded here. And you can tell from Beth Peterson's hesitancy, she's not super thrilled with what's happening in the house right now.
Just high.
I always knew when I looked down the other end and my skip wasn't ready to call the shot that they maybe weren't too pleased with what was happening out there. So Kat Dirksen going to have to make a run back here. Would love to get an angle and get rid of at least one of those reds in the house. And she will not. So does make the double peel though, a little bit better than it was before.
Well, they're out. Is that pretty, right?
Same shot? Yeah. Few more ice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So same thing here for Rachel Erickson, trying to get a third counter in the house. In this case, throwing a guard is not bad at all.
Top 12. Tight.
And sweepers indicating this one might be a little bit light again. And so this is not a bad spot for that stone. Being light there was definitely the miss. And so now we'll see if Laura Burtnick can make this run back.
Like this or up? I think one more. Kat, did you just get a little tight on yours or?
Yeah, I would just stay safer.
Okay. Really hard. Gotta go. Really gotta go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay.
And Burtnick will only be able to get the top one, and so it remains Team BC sitting those 2 Sam Fisher stones.
Like a little tap?
Yes, like that?
Or just do that? Or on the other side?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
On this side?
Yeah, top 4. I think so, eh? Because I don't really want to move that other one.
Yeah, you can't be any, like, just bite the 4, I think.
Hey.
If you're any deeper, there's just a straight double. That's fine, too.
So, just here, yeah. So, we think like a 15 here, or? Okay. Line's nice.
Line's good.
Line's good. Line's holding. Line's good. Hasn't moved yet.
So trying to get another one in here is Aaron Pincott.
Line's good.
Line's good.
Top four, guys. Just top four. Have a look.
Room.
Top eight.
Room.
Room.
No line. Oh, God.
And so not in too bad of a spot, but might have an opportunity here for Beth Peterson to get rid of a couple. Yeah.
I think we gotta get in there. I was almost just thinking a little tapping in. You do that. Is that too scary? Yeah, but you go here, she can rip it. Yeah, but won't it be behind it? Like, want to jam? You have to go all, like, you have to roll a full roll. I'm just talking like punch it back, not kill it. This rock's hurting us a lot. Yeah, but if I have a wall behind us. Yeah. Like if I don't get both here, that's not good. Yeah, but you miss it. You miss it big. You're getting it this way, anyways. Okay. I don't like. I don't have a lot of this. Like yeah, I have thin half, but it's hard to miss it because you don't have enough to miss it. Okay, if you don't like this, let's do that. I don't mind it. I'm just saying this rock is not good. I am not. I'm just trying to reduce at this point, like. Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with it. Feel? Yeah, thanks over here.
So there's two options here if you're Team Peterson. The first is that you could come down here and you just play a little tap on this yellow one and roll into here. The worry for Beth Peterson, though, if you do that, is that then Corryn Brown could just come down here, smash this one, and you get it out, and then you're just lying too buried. So they've decided that they're just going to come down and just whip it here. Whip this one down and try and get this one moving. And if you get lucky, maybe you come onto the back one and you spray everything out. So that's the call here. We'll see what Laura Burtnick can do.
Yep. Yep. Whoa. 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 Off. Close. Melissa. Close. No. Cat. Melissa. Cat. Oh.
And so that was not the desired result there for Beth Peterson, as Laura Burtnick just missing getting the triple, and now Corryn Brown has the chance to lie four. So just one of those situations where Laura Burtnick just kind of missing it by an inch.
Gotta go.
As Aaron Pincott just about falls down in her slide. We'll see if Rachel Erickson can hold this.
Hard! Hard on yellow!
Can she hold it? She holds it good enough for BC to lie three.
Nice sweep. I know.
So not a bad shot for Aaron Pincott, considering she was about 75% of the way down. So this might be Beth's only opportunity to get out of this end.
Okay.
If she can make the hit and roll behind the guard, Corryn will be forced to run it. And if Corryn misses the run, then Beth will get a force or maybe even a steal. But if she can't get buried underneath this guard, then Corryn Brown could be scoring a few here. So first stone here for Beth Peterson.
Easy.
Facing three BC counters, needs to make a really good hit and roll.
Whoa. Yep. Yep.
This is close.
Whoa. Oh.
This is very close, but it will just finish a little too much. And I think Beth Peterson owes me $10.
Roll under the slots match.
There hasn't been too many swears on the broadcast this week, but that is the John Cullen broadcast policy. The curler will personally owe me $10. There's no network to pay the money to, so just goes right in my pocket. Buy me a couple ginger ales when this day is all over. So just peeking out from the guard, Corryn Brown can see just all of it from the hack. And so if she can get a little roll inside here, Beth Peterson is going to be in a world of trouble.
Clean. Yep. Yep. Clean. Yep. Yep. Hard roll. Go, 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 go.
So rolling away instead of trying to get underneath. Maybe they couldn't see as much of it as I thought. I'm not directly behind the hack here, so it is one more opportunity here for Beth Peterson to get out of this end. Needs to make a hit and roll behind the guard, and that would force Corryn Brown into a difficult run back. But if Peterson can't make it, then it'll be an easy shot for 3.
Double rolls out. High side of the waves here. Not far off.
So final stone, Beth Peterson has been up against it all end. Can she find her way off of the wall here? And it just will not quite get there. So a nice throw from Beth Peterson, but maybe just didn't quite get the sweeping nail down. And for Corryn Brown, it was a big 3 in their round robin game in the 8th end to give them the win, and a chance here for another big 3 for BC to blow this game open. So final stone, Corryn Brown just needs a hit and stick for 3.
Clean. Clean, just clean. Whoa, clean.
And that's as cool as you like from the BC skip. Put 3 up on the board. It'll be a 4-1 lead for Corryn Brown. And Beth Peterson will have to try to find her way back into this game when we come back. You're watching the SGI Best of the West Women's Final live on Curling Canada and Curling Zone.
Be simple, but our methods are far from it. Canadian dairy farmers proudly meet some of the most stringent standards in the world, including the 42 food safety requirements set by our national quality program. We do it by working hard and by ensuring that every cow is monitored every day so that we can bring you high quality milk. High Canadian standards. That's dairy farming forward.
Welcome back, folks. It was a bit of a cagey first half of the game.
It's good.
It was 1-1 after 4, but BC putting it all together in the 5th end.
Yeah.
They were the front runners for the entire end, and Manitoba just couldn't find the answer for it. And so BC putting 3 up on the board, and it's a 4-1 lead for Corryn Brown and her team from the Kamloops Curling Club.
Nice spot. That's good. Really good.
And so
Nice spot.
we'll see if Beth Peterson has the answer here. As I said in the 5th end, Beth Peterson's team, certainly the better team in the first half of the game, just couldn't quite find the big shot to really put the screws to Corryn, and that's always the danger when you're playing a good team like Corryn Brown. If you don't take advantage of your opportunities when maybe they're not playing their best, then that at some point they could turn it on, and that's exactly what they did in that 5th end. 8 made shots and 3 up on the board. So Manitoba will try to find their way back into it. Melissa Kerrs making the corner guard. Sure.
Tight. Keep it out there and out of line. Gotta sit big for line.
Yeah, we're a little deep right now.
Really tight. Okay, it's gotta sit. Gotta sit for line.
The curls a little more, we're good. Nice pair, Sam.
So Sam Fisher will make that center guard, and I'm no longer alone in the booth here as tournament organizer and Saskatchewan curler Dustin McCush is joining me here in the booth. How you feeling?
Feel good. Feel good, yeah.
Calling some curling here this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a great ladies final here, and you must be happy now. In some ways, maybe not so happy that you're out of the event, but in other ways you are happy because it gives you the chance to maybe put your organizer hat on a little bit more for this busy championship Sunday.
Yeah, you bet. It's obviously would rather be playing later today on the ice, but yeah, happy to be here and being able to watch some of the finals today. It's been some great curling all weekend, and more to come today.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of that, we do have the men's final for you later today, 4:30 p.m. local. That's 3:30 p.m. Pacific, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. It'll be Colton Lott, Team Manitoba 1, facing off against Rylan Kleider, Team Saskatchewan 1. And obviously, Rylan calls Nutana his home club, Dustin, so should be a lot of hometown support for him today, I would imagine.
I think the Sutherland, another club in Saskatoon, is his home club.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But yes, from Saskatoon here, so be lots of fans out later this afternoon to root on their team for sure.
Beautiful. There you go.
Okay, 5 here.
So Beth Peterson looking to get something going here. They've got that yellow already in the 12-foot, so if Kat Dirksen can make this draw around the corner guard, might be not a bad setup for them here.
Where?
All there right now.
Okay, you gotta stay close, Laura. You gotta stay close. See? Just clean it. We're gonna be wide open.
Okay.
Like to it.
Lots of curl today. The rocks were sanded on this sheet after the semifinals, and yeah, lots of finish to both sides here that we're seeing this afternoon.
For sure, yeah. No, it's been pretty consistent, the curl. It does seem like the one side is maybe a little straighter than the other. We've seen that on a few of the hits, but for the most part, it's been, yeah, a phenomenal ice here all weekend long at the Nutana, and on this TV sheet in particular. So tricky shot here for Rachel Erickson, Dustin, trying to come out here in the wings and make this double.
Yeah, not easy for sure. Probably can maybe see just all, but definitely there to be able to make both of them go away.
Tons of weight. Good.
And
That'll
so,
play.
yeah, only gets rid of the 1, but it is BC lying 2, so certainly nothing wrong with that result.
Yeah.
If you're Beth Peterson, Dustin, at what point do you start to think about going after that rock in the middle?
I like the draw.
Yeah, I would say either this one or maybe the next one can maybe be a little bit patient. The tough part with the corner guard is that there is so much curl both ways that wherever you put it, kind of top 8, top 4, you might be able to get at it with hack weight. So opening up the front, probably coming in the next shot or two here to maybe potentially set something up, and you can even maybe hit and roll over and set up another corner guard off that tight one.
Hard, guys, go! Hard! Hard, stay down, go! Yep, you gotta stay on it, stay on it, stay on it, stay on it. Go, 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 go. A little more, a little more.
Really good coming in there.
Yeah,
Nice
excellent shot from Kat Dirksen.
Very nice. Good sweeping. Brushers made that one for sure. Good line call.
Absolutely. Yeah, great team shot. And so now it's BC perhaps forced into the chase here.
They have to deal with that at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Corryn's mentioning. It's going to be time soon that they will have to.
I like your first ball.
And
Yeah. Okay, speed's good here. 15 and a half.
Key here for BC, just want to make sure your second shot, even if you don't quite make the freeze.
Room. Line's good.
Line's good.
Room.
Make sure you're here.
Room.
sweepers are cleaning it, so
Line's
this weight must be close.
Line's good.
Hard line.
Don't
switch.
Go back, unswitch.
Don't switch.
No bounce, no bounce.
Talking about the unswitch, must be close. It's always when you're off on. It's always
just on the corner.
It's got to be close.
Yeah,
Nice
really good shot from Aaron Pincott. You know you're playing in a final too when you invent words like unswitch.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Have we through the weekend, John, seen any other unique weight calls from our advice of the chip flavors?
No one took our chip flavor advice. I think I'm a little disappointed, especially like, you know, it's end of the year. This is an event where maybe you could experiment with some things.
You know what I just maybe came up with, John? What about milk flavors, like strawberry milk, chocolate milk?
Oh,
like they are presenting sponsor the best of the West. Maybe
True.
maybe milk.
Go milky wise.
Yeah. Maybe,
Okay.
Maybe.
You guys like the run?
Were you ever a flavored milk guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was. Yeah, absolutely.
I was
I'm a hard chocolate milk guy now.
Okay.
But yeah, as a young.
Yeah, you grew up.
Yeah.
You grew up into chocolate milk.
Grew up into chocolate milk.
Yeah, I understand.
But yeah, strawberry banana. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, when
it's
I
all
was
good.
younger, I used to like the strawberry one. For sure, get the like strawberry Nesquik or whatever, because that was before like milk to go existed or whatever.
Right.
So
I grew up when there was milk to go.
Yeah, well, okay, I get it. One of us can play in this tournament and one of us can't, Dustin. Yeah, we all understand.
Maybe next year, John. Maybe next year.
Yeah, maybe next year I'll get younger. Laura Burtnick looking for the run back here, and we'll just drive it by. So it is BC sitting 2. But yeah, no, I was not the banana one. I could never. I never got into that. I think I was too old. Sure. Like by the time they really got the banana one going, I was already in my sort of like mid 20s.
Yeah. Sold on chocolate milk and the white milk, right?
Yeah. When you can't get. You can't be like 26 years old and walking around drinking banana milk. It doesn't really.
Yeah,
people look down on you.
That's
you know?
fair. That's fair.
But yes, I do love a good glass of chocolate milk and. Big cereal guy.
Yeah.
Love a nice.
Yeah.
Love a nice bowl of cereal with milk here.
Absolutely. Yep. The milk has been fantastic. All the competitors and coaches here this weekend have been treated to some milk, courtesy of SaskMilk. So thank you, SaskMilk, for your support there. We curlers love their milk. That is for sure.
Absolutely. And Aaron Pincott, speaking of loving things, will love that guard.
Very nice. Very nice.
Nicely made. So Laura Burtnick will get another chance to make the run back here.
Yep. Clean. Yep. Whoa. Yes. Whoa. No.
This needs to curl.
Hard cut.
This is close.
Just on the wrong side of the inch, and
Good throw.
Beth Peterson's reaction tells you the whole story there. It's a tough one, Dustin, because not only do you not make the run back, but you also leave that yellow one in a half guarding position.
Yeah, yeah, definitely caught in between there where rolling out would have been better, but it was super close to making the run back. So tough one there, but maybe potentially able to run it back on the next one.
I think that's close. Guard's fine, right? Yeah.
So if you're BC here, you're fine. More of a line shot than a weight shot. You're fine with a guard outside of the house. I think the call is to maybe come into the top 12 here and cut off that potential run back for Beth Peterson. But if you end up outside of the house or just guarding the red anywhere is pretty good.
For sure. Yeah, just touching center line would be good. Halfway high-ish.
Settle into pretty much the perfect spot for Corryn Brown. 16. So BC continuing to lie two without hammer here in the 6th.
Yep, absolutely perfect. So now if you're Beth Peterson, looking to probably try and run that yellow in, or maybe potentially come right around everything. You can maybe tuck a half a piece, top button-ish. John, with the amount of curl there is?
You could, yep, certainly. That's big risk, though. If you ever chap the red, then it's a hit and roll in for Corryn Brown, and you probably don't score if you're Peterson. So
I'm sitting right there, essentially. She's going like this, anyways.
Beth Peterson's original lean was to tap that yellow one, angle tap. I don't know if I like that either.
She lobs a guard up, though. What do we do?
Send it, I guess. Or the angle tap right now.
This is really good.
Might as well try it.
Yeah, and then that's, yeah. We know that path. It's true.
Not really. It's a tiny, like it's...
Okay.
I only can throw to there.
Okay, you like draw the button nice? Yeah.
I think so.
How'd you hear?
So they're taking your advice here, Dustin. I think they're going to be trying to draw to the button. And I said, too, if they come up a little short on top of the red, they don't mind that either.
I think now it's a point in the game where you're looking at the scoreboard and thinking we need two here to give ourselves a chance, and it's kind of that risk versus reward, and they're taking a bit of a risk here, but could pay off with a potential deuce if this is made nicely.
Four were shots, so.
So first rock here for Beth Peterson in the 6th end.
Mine's good.
Mine's good.
Looking to make a pretty precise draw.
Mine's good. I think you're there. I think you're hot. No, you're not in close.
Lots
curling now.
Lots of line. Close line, yes.
It's coming down here quite heavily. They were calling that it was heavy, but it is dying and curling beautifully. How about that? What a nice shot from
Beautiful
Beth
shot
Peterson.
from Beth
Amazing.
Peterson. Fantastic shot.
Called and swept perfectly. The brushers stayed close, which was critical, as anything coming off it might have overcurled. So great sweep by the brushers.
So we get a look here, just getting by that rock in the top 4 and stopping perfectly, just a little behind the tee line, but great shot from Beth Peterson. So an opportunity here for Corryn Brown to just try and follow Beth Peterson down here. I don't know if she could get shot, but anywhere in the vicinity here, and you're going to be hard pressed to get to if you're Beth Peterson.
Could not make that much more perfect though than that shot. That was great shot.
Oh, let it work.
This looks a little heavy.
No, 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 no.
Will curl.
No. No.
Peterson's curled and died here. Will Browns
at
do
this.
the same? It'll just roll a smidge too far. So just that couple feet heavy for Corryn Brown, and Beth Peterson going to have a chance here for a good old-fashioned skips deuce.
Yeah, I like that.
So what kind of weight are they playing here? Pew, minty fresh? Do you know?
Banana, strawberry, chocolate, who knows? Yeah, I think they're just playing like back house weight.
Okay.
Just need to move this far enough to score. Yeah, I don't think they're playing much more than that. Maybe hack at the most. So final stone here for Beth Peterson. Made a beauty with her first one and now needs to follow that up with this shot for two.
Right behind the sheet, and this rock looks like it is curling.
Kat Dirksen on it, trying to get it by this center guard, but they will not. Just a little bit light from Beth Peterson, so it catches the curl early. And we'll take a look here at Wood's shot. I think it's yellow, but tough to say. It's close.
Looks one yellow to me.
Yeah, well, I've learned yesterday that our camera's a little bit behind the pin. So anything that's behind the tee line looks like it's closer than it is. So I think we're so that's why yellow clearly looks closer on the camera, but it is possible that it is closer than we appear. Objects in the camera may be closer than they appear, Dustin.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
And so we'll see, no matter who scores here, you got to say it's a bit of a missed opportunity for Beth Peterson there.
If it is red, I might have to go see Gary tomorrow morning.
Okay.
The eye guy.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. It's the
just don't
camera.
know.
I've been
You
wrong
just don't know.
twice.
Really?
So I refuse to guess anymore.
Okay, that's fair. Fair enough.
Especially yesterday, there was one where I was like, it is definitely this color, and it was not. It was not even close. So I've learned my lesson.
I thought my weight was.
Your weight was fine. It's very like a little bit more angle and like maybe.
Okay, so here we go. So if Erin Pincott would do us a favor and get her head out of the way.
Yellow all day.
Yellow all day.
It is yellow all day. That's almost a full rotation around. Wasting her own time and ours was Erin Pincott with that one. I mean, my goodness, that wasn't even close, but it is one for Beth Peterson. Corryn Brown will have the hammer when we come back in a 2-point lead. You're watching the SGI Canada Best of the West Women's Final.
Our roots might be simple, but our methods are far from it. Canadian dairy farmers proudly meet some of the most stringent standards in the world, including the 42 food safety requirements set by our national quality program. We do it by working hard and by ensuring that every cow is monitored every day so that we can bring you high-quality milk. High Canadian standards. That's dairy farming forward.
So here we go. It's the SGI Canada and SaskMilk shot of the game, and no surprise here. Corryn Brown facing 5, making the control weight angle run back for 1. not an exaggeration to say that that was a game-saving shot, and really has paid off for Corryn Brown as she makes that, gets her one, and it's been all BC all the time since then. They have a 4-2 lead and the hammer here in the 7th. So back to the game at hand, and Dustin, I think safe to say that if you're Beth Peterson, you probably got to go pretty hard for the steal here.
Absolutely. For sure in full-out steal mode here, and then the extra added event rule of not being able to tick in the 8th then makes things extra interesting potentially if there is a steal here.
Nice. I'm just learning about that rule now, so good to know that we're almost through the event, and I didn't even know that, but I guess it hasn't come up. I haven't had to think about it.
I guess the event organizer should share more info. Hey there, John.
Hey, look.
Yeah.
It's no one's fault but my own.
And the extra no tick as well.
Okay, good to know. I did sort of notice that, but I might have been critical of a team being like, oh, it's curious they're not ticking here. Yeah, okay, I like that.
Line only.
No tick only in the 8th and extra. That's good. If the rock's touching center.
Splitting ours
If the rock's touching center.
Got it.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we may not have to worry about that here as Sam Fisher making another excellent draw, and so it is BC lying 2 with the hammer once again, and this looks like a familiar movie back in the 5th end. And just looking at the Team Brown percentages up across the board here. We've got Ryder on the stats here, and not a surprise, the 5th and 6th ends have been very good for Team Brown, and their team percentages pretty much up across the board, but it is still still some good percentages for Beth Peterson in particular. She's curling 77%, but Corryn Brown has edged ahead of her now, curling 79%. And the key battle now has been at 3rd. Erin Pincott in particular has had a very good second half of the game. She's now sitting at 73%, and Laura Burtnick has fallen to 61%. And I think we've sort of seen that on the board. Laura missing a couple run backs in the 5th when Brown was getting set up for that 3. And it's been a story of 2 halves here, and we'll see if BC can continue and find their way onto that $10,000 check. So Rachel Erickson just looking to get this Yellowstone out of the forefoot. Pincott leaning on this one. Can she get it by the center guard? She will.
Very nice sweep.
Great sweep from Pincott. Great shot from Erickson, and it's BC lying 3. So Erickson providing a little home province flavor to this BC team from Merrifield, Saskatchewan, which I'm told is a town of 300 people.
Looks similar. Yeah, line.
D-line. Hard line.
Yeah, a lot of good curlers come from Merrifield. Quite a strong junior program there. Braden Stewart, one of my teammates this weekend from Merrifield, as well as some other well-known Saskatchewan curlers like Brooklyn Lemons from there as well. Yeah, so strong junior program from small town Saskatchewan. As you see with lots of these teams coming from small towns and moving to the city usually, but a lot grew up in small town curling rinks.
For sure, yeah. There's something to be said for the ice that's always available, especially for juniors. And I grew up in not a tiny town, but certainly a small town of White Rock, BC. And when I was in high school, I had the keys to my curling club. So
all too familiar. Yeah. I had them at 12 years. And Ice Maker, I think, just he knew I was going to practice a lot, so he thought, teach him how to make the ice, give him the keys, be set to go.
Yep, absolutely. Never helped me. I never got any better, but at least I had the keys.
Oh, that's debatable.
You probably never even saw me play. You're so young.
I definitely watched on Sportsnet.
Oh, there we go. Wow, thank you.
100%.
2015 BC final, yeah.
Absolutely, 100%.
Those were the days.
100%.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you. Appreciate that. So it is still BC lying 3, and a big shot here for Laura Burtnick. Needs to come around everything and sit on this red stone in the back 4. This is curling. Can Kat Dirksen get it by this top yellow? Oh, it just kisses that by one of the whiskers on Laura Burtnick's corn broom. Just touching that top yellow. You can see it here on the replay.
Do you see something else?
Ooh. And so now, if you're Team BC, Dustin, this is starting to look very good.
Starting to look really good. Yeah, 2/3, 3/4, and can maybe hit and roll in, or even maybe look at opening the front, and you're still in a good spot to score 1 or 2 here.
Hitting. Get to the inside or get rid of that stagger. Yeah. Even nose is not bad on that yellow. That was your first thought.
You still have like 4 rocks left, right?
So if you're Team Brown right now, what do you think are your options and what you can maybe do here?
I think you outlined the options perfectly, Dustin. I think you have the hit and roll in off of this yellow, or you try and run the guards at the top. I just worry if you're running the guards, you don't hit it exactly where you want to. You peel out 2 of your own.
Right.
You know, I think with the way that Peterson's playing right now, I'm inclined to put some more pressure on them and make this hit.
For sure.
And it seems like that's what they've decided. You like this call as well?
Yeah, if you make this really good, I love it. It's one of those, if you make it really good, it's the shot you play, right?
For sure. I find that's most curling shots. If you make it really good, it's probably going to be pretty good.
Yes.
But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. This is one where if Pincott can get inside of this, it would be very good. This looks really close. Perfect shot from Aaron Pincott. BC
nice
lying 4. And boy, if you're Beth Peterson, this situation does not look very, very good.
How much do you have of it? I got the double. She's gonna draw in, but like we have nothing else, do we?
You don't have enough of this?
No, I have the 3. I'm just always rolling, right?
Yeah, I mean at least I have like at least if these are gone, I really hope it's heavy. And I agree. Like these are.
Yeah. You want to just get as close to nose as I can?
Yeah, I only have a copy of this.
No, it doesn't open up enough. I don't think. No, because the 4's gonna stay there.
Get as much as you can. If you have enough of this, I like this.
Sorry?
Do you want to double or just sit here and shuffle them?
Do you think I'm moving all 3 with that?
3. No, I don't think so. For you? It looks like you're hitting.
It looks like I'm just taking the 3 to me. Yeah.
Like, Laura, do you want to double them or just move?
I think we have to double.
Move them. I can sit here. Like, that's a good spot for them. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Get
So those are the two options they're talking about here. The first one is just playing this straight rip double, so you just come down, double these two out. The problem with that is that then Corryn Brown just comes down here, draws to here, and they've still got one completely buried. The other option, which is the one I think they've decided on, is they're just going to come down, not play hit weight. So just come down, tap this one onto here, and then you roll the two reds out of the way. So they go here. Whoops, that's supposed to be red. Here and here. And so then maybe it gives you something to potentially freeze on later on in the end. So we'll see what happens here for Laura Burtnick, just trying to splash these two reds around.
Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep, yep. Hard. Whoa, whoa. Cows. Whoa. Curl. Yep. Whoa. Curl. Whoa.
Very nice shot coming in.
Good shot.
Super nice.
And nice shot from Laura Burtnick. Does indeed move those two rocks off the forefoot, and the yellow one sits right there. And Dustin, that felt like a shot where you really are going all out for the steal here by leaving those two reds in the house. Good chance Brown's going to be lying 5 when this one comes to rest.
There's a very good chance.
But nice shot by Laura Burtnick, exactly what Beth Peterson called for.
Yeah, and all those in the back 8, so you might be able to use them and be hard to remove. It's kind of a little wall growing for red back there that makes it a little bit tougher to remove rocks.
Yeah. The red goes back? Yep. Okay. If you hit it here.
You like this better?
3/4 high.
Okay.
I like this call from Corryn Brown. You just run the yellow one back and go yellow on yellow, get rid of both the yellows and sit your red right there. Open everything up.
Yep, yep.
Hard. Gotta go. Hard.
Part of this rule, Sam. Go on the rule.
It's nosing. It's nosing. Yeah. All right.
Well, that didn't really help Team BC, unfortunately.
No, tough one there from Aaron. Did get rid of a couple yellows.
Got rid of a few yellows, but leaves Peterson shot.
And I think now the question for Peterson is, where do you put this rock where you don't set up an easy double? So you think yellow is shot, hey? Pretty close.
I think so. With where our cameras are, like this back red is appearing closer than it is. So to me, it already looks like it's further away than the yellow, and it's appearing closer than it is. So I think it's yellow sitting 1 here, yeah. I also think that if yellow wasn't shot, we might see Peterson trying to promote it.
Right.
Whereas here, instead, she's trying to come around and see if there's a way she can force Corryn here. So I believe they're operating under the assumption that yellow's shot.
Yeah.
So first stone here for Beth Peterson. She's been in trouble all end, but has a chance here maybe to
Line's good.
get the straight jacket off.
Room. Room. Back 8. Curl. Straight. Curl. Curl. Always go. Curl. Hard, 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 hard. Go on the list. Hard, Melissa. Go, go, go. Hard, hard, hard.
And unfortunately, they just don't get that as deep as they wanted. And as you said, Dustin, chance here now for Corryn Brown to make the double.
Yeah, great weight in line. Just yeah, I guess a little bit light on the weight, but
You like the ice?
still not easy. Still have to make it. And you're also always, even if the shot's made and you're rolling away, you're gonna be able to come around again and potentially set up a steal spot.
Okay.
Very good chance she might be playing that exact same shot on her next one, so it's good that she's able to get a good read on her first.
So first stone here for Corryn Brown in the 7th. Looking for a double.
Yep. Hard.
And this is tight. Can Rachel Erickson hold it? Ooh boy. And where Corryn Brown was once sitting 4, Beth Peterson now sitting 2, completely buried.
Yeah, and it brings up the question of the point early in the game. And instead of playing that hit and roll, which was made fantastic, you always left those centers. Do you ever clear it up and be safe and make sure you try and take one, or do you go a bit unfortunate? But
I think for me, the call that I would have changed is Aaron Pincott's second one, running the center one in. I mean, if you make it, it's fantastic, but we saw what happens if you miss it. And they could have just hit the open one and lied 5. Right. Make Peterson make some kind of tough draw.
Right.
But in any case, curling is a game where if you make your shots,
yep,
the calls don't matter all that much. And so Beth Peterson has really turned it on here in the back half of this end and has a chance now to really put the screws to Corryn Brown.
Just throwing up a guard here, tight guard.
Yeah, just guarding.
Looks like they're going for the bounce here. It's over curling a hair. Going for the bounce.
And did they manage to guard that red enough, or can Corryn Brown see just enough of it to run it in?
I think she can see enough for one.
Yeah, it does look like it, doesn't it?
Probably can see a third, half almost.
Yeah. The one positive here for Corryn Brown is even if you give up the steal of 2, you got the hammer tide coming home. So,
although no ticks.
No ticks, but
so that does make it interesting.
For sure. Yep. Yeah, certainly if you're Corryn, you want to make this shot, be up 3. That's the preferred position, no question.
You like this? Yeah.
So here we go, final stone for Corryn Brown in the 7th. The end was all BC until the last couple stones, and now Corryn is facing 2 with her last. She's already made 1 big angle run back. Can she make it 2?
Hard! 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 You gotta go!
Rachel Erickson trying to hold it. Can they get it by the center? They can. Do they have enough? And they will manage to cut Peterson down to 1, and that's not a terrible result at all if you're Corryn Brown. 2 great saving shots from Corryn Brown, but it'll be a steal of 1 for Beth Peterson. Brown will take a 4-3 lead and the hammer into the final end of this ladies' final here at the SGI Canada Best of the West. We'll be back right after this.
When you buy a lottery ticket in Saskatchewan, your money really goes a long way. More than 12,000 sport, culture, and recreation groups receive funding from Sask Lotteries every year.
Welcome back to the 8th end of the SGI Canada Best of the West presented by SaskMilk. women's final between Brown and Peterson. Brown won up with the hammer in the final potential 8th end play. And
Wow.
John, we have a good one coming up here.
Dustin McCush, ladies and gentlemen. Love that. Bringing us out from break. Look at you go. Love that. Yes, absolutely, Dustin. Been a great game so far, and we're primed for a good finish here. Corryn Brown up 4-3 with the hammer here in the 8th. And Dustin, that 7th end really took us on a ride.
It was a ride. Fun ride.
Always.
I love it.
It's always a fun ride when we're in the finals here.
Yep.
And yeah, Corryn Brown just dominating the entire end. At one point was sitting 4 with the hammer. And then a couple really good shots, particularly one by Laura Burtnick, to really set up the back half of that end for Team Peterson. And they end up getting a steal out of nowhere.
Yeah, and brings the game really close. Just saw one steal, and I'm sure the thought process behind it is let's do it again, right? And 8 good shots, and as mentioned a little bit earlier, there is no tick shot in the 8 and extra ends. And if it's placed on the center line, which Team Peterson had their first one right on the center line, so aren't able to play the tick, so should be in for another fun end here.
Absolutely, and as we said off the top of the show, these two teams playing for a pretty big prize, $10,000, and also the bragging rights of being the first ever Best of the West winner.
Gotta go. Line's green.
Loser gets $5,000, which is not a bad payday either, but I'm not great at math, but last I checked, 10 was better than 5.
That's exactly right.
So yeah, for both of these teams, the $10,000 top prize would be the biggest purse they've cashed this year. Corryn Brown were winners in Leduc back at the start of the season, but that was about $2,500, I think, for winning that one. And they've made a couple finals, but wouldn't have been quite the payday. And Beth Peterson hasn't won an event yet this year, so it would be certainly the big check to finish out the year. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, nice to go out on a high note. Makes summer a little nicer going out on a win for sure.
Absolutely, especially in Manitoba, $10,000 can be a down payment out there.
Where? Top 4. Okay, stay close.
Be a great summer.
Yep.
Yeah. Won 10 grand at the Best of the West, and now I have a cottage.
Yep.
I only say that because I'm from Vancouver. It's mostly bitterness for me. 10 grand wouldn't buy me a couch. Never mind somewhere to put it. So good start here for BC. In the 8th end, they can now get rid of this guard up front, and they're lying 1.
Yep. Hard! Hard of the roller. Gotta go.
Looks good. Nice shot from Rachel Erickson.
Yeah.
A little panic in the sweep there.
Yeah,
but
absolutely. A little chuckle from Aaron Pincott as Corryn Brown. Gotta go. You gotta go on the red.
There's $10,000 on the line.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Where
See,
that's
this is what we're talking
from.
about.
It's a big deal. Absolutely.
Yeah. They know what it's all about. Well, Corryn lives in Kamloops, so 10 grand buys you a driveway there. Can at least get, you can get up to your house.
I hear there's a mortgage broker out there by the name of Matt Dunstone that might be able to help too.
Oh, I never heard of that guy. Who's that?
Me neither.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Matt making Kamloops home now after growing up in Winnipeg.
Yep. Good.
And there he is right there.
There he is.
Speaking of the organizer. Co-organizer, I should say. Looks like he's having a good time.
He is, yeah.
Yeah. Laughing along with Team Calvert, and I think we saw Kyle Deering there, who we're going to see in the men's final later tonight. Again, that one will be coming up for you at 4:30 local time, which is 3:30 Pacific and 6:30 Eastern. Will be Colton Lott taking on Rylan Kleider, and another $10,000 purse on the line there. So that'll be a good one. Yeah, it's great to see so many of the players out here watching the game. We've got members of Team Calvert out here, Team Tardy, the BC women's doubles team, Fisher and Reese Hansen. We've got Kayla McMillan out here. It's great to see these teams coming out here and supporting the event and watching it conclude here with this great ladies final. So once again, a guard going up here for Laura Burtnick and Team Manitoba.
Line's curling. Can we lock it on? Can you go here? Easy.
And that guard's a little deeper, but we're not going to see BC mess with anything in the house given that they're the shot stone. And no mistake there from Erin Pincott. So when do you make a move in the house here, Dustin, if you're Beth Peterson?
Yeah, I think one more you can be a little bit patient and maybe go after it on your last two, but definitely I don't think it's too early either to maybe throw rock in there, tap them around, and try and create something. Angles aren't set up, I think, how Beth Peterson would like right now, so probably has to jiggle these around to try and set something up for a steal.
She might just rip, like, we might leave a yellow double. That's kind of what my thought is here, kind of.
What do you think, John? Where would you place this rock?
Oh, this is above my pay grade, I think. No, I think exactly what you said, Dustin. The angles just really aren't that good.
Kind of what I'm thinking.
But the problem for Peterson, if you guard here and you delay the end, you're not shot. And so that's, you'd always want to be having these discussions when you're the shot stone if you don't have the hammer. And so that's the problem here, I think, facing Peterson. But yeah, I think you just got to jiggle something to make the angles better.
That's what I mean. I don't hate this now.
Yeah, if you can maybe even come around with an out turn, just come right around everything, use it almost like a guard would be probably my shot that I'd play here.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah, but I mean,
sounds like that's what they've decided.
Yeah. Gonna curl on the out? Yeah.
Yep, I think that's the call. And Corryn's team likely has to peel or do something with it, and it'd be hard to remove if you bury something perfect. I'm not sure how you'd be able to remove it if you went back button, back four here.
I don't think they'd
Very
ever
tough.
touch where I'm going.
Yeah, you'd be 2 shots away, yeah.
You're there, they do. Yeah, like no matter what, they're blasting. We just gotta hope they leave some in the middle. Yeah. I'm just saying, if you're T-line, it goes for fun. But I like this.
So some talk of trying to maybe jiggle the angles or make a play on the shot stone, but in the end, Peterson deciding to leave the mess as it is and try to come around everything here with Laura Burtnick second. Critical shot here.
So close. Back four. Line's tight. Yeah, line. Hard line. Hard early. Okay, curl. Curl and go. Curl and go. Yes. Curl and go. All right, cat. Easy. Hard. Yes.
So this is just a little bit light, so they're calling an audible here to get it to center guard.
Okay, that's fine.
It's okay. I think that would have been one of the shot options.
Yeah.
Delay it a little bit, but
quite light from Burtnick. She was aiming for the back four and ended up a guard, so might be some information there. Maybe that path's a little slower. Maybe she just yanked it a bit, but I would imagine Beth Peterson's going to probably attempt the same shot after this guard's peeled.
And then hopefully you've learned that path for your next one.
And another peel made here for BC. And so indeed, we will see Beth Peterson chase the same spot.
Is that the best one though, or is, like Kat said, that 8? It leaves us something in front at least, right? But again, she's got that. No, I'm saying this. Push this here. Push this there. But she's always gonna have this.
I just worried if we're here, guys.
Yeah, I agree.
I just think this is so easy. It just at least jiggles them around first. What do you
That
say?
if we straight tackle and then a rock higher?
Think you'd be shot?
So Peterson may be rethinking her draw strategy here. Dustin's abandoned me here. I'm once again all by my lonesome.
That she's just crushing.
That's what happens when you're the event organizer and you got things to do in the ladies' final. But thanks to Dustin for joining me for a few ends. So I think what Beth Peterson was worried about is that if she made the shot that she called on the last one, so if she was going to come down here and draw just right to this spot, she's worried that Corryn Brown would just have this slash here, would be able to hit this and bang right onto the yellow thrown there. So seems that she's now talking about maybe trying to rejig the pile here a little bit.
Ideally, this goes to here. I just think this is so automatic.
Yeah. Okay.
You thinking like back line?
Back. Oh, not quite back line, I don't think. Back 8?
Well, you're not hitting a ton of the 8 as well, but
I'm not hitting the 8 at all. I'm hitting the 2, right?
oh, I know, but I mean it's not pushing it very far, right? Let's get on the same page.
Okay, that's fine.
Like it. Yeah.
Okay, so it appears what they've decided to do here is to just
nose.
hit the top red. So they're going to come down here. They're going to try and hit this top red just with like back 8. Try to move this yellow maybe into here, and then hopefully move this red maybe somewhere in this area right here
14?
with their last one, just to make the 4-foot more accessible. So just throwing about back 8 weight here at this. Beth Peterson's first here in the 8th end.
Close the line. Whoa. 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 Close. Whoa. Close. Yes. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Clean. Yes. Yes. Ah.
Beth Peterson's reaction will always tell you everything that's happening. And just had a little too much weight there. I think she was hoping that when she sprung that one out, she was trying to hit the outside of the red one. So the idea would be that you'd move that yellow one back into the 4-foot, but the yellow one she just threw would roll over with it and be guarding it. And unfortunately, she just got too close to the nose of that yellow one. And so it's going to be an open hit to lie 2 for Corryn Brown.
They go here. And then we'll just have a draw for the win.
So they're just discussing whether they want to make that shot that they were talking about, Beth Peterson was talking about last time, whether they want to come down here, hit this yellow one onto this red one and over to here. They're talking about trying that.
Feels fine.
Okay, I don't actually know. I think they're just peeling off the top yellow here now is what they've decided, and then maybe they'll catch that red one. So yeah, I think they're thinking if they get rid of this top yellow, that they'll always have a shot on their last one. Since they are shot. And they get a little bit lucky there to still be shot. So their sort of reasoning there was that if they peel off the top one, Beth Peterson actually can't remove shot stone, because if she removed shot stone, it would just go right onto the yellow one in the house, in the forefoot rather. But now that shot is maybe not as easy as it seemed. I don't know that the angle is as natural as it once was.
I don't think it's there.
The double?
No, I mean, if we're sitting here, I don't think her red, yellow is...
Oh, no, I don't think so either. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, I think you're max scooting the two here, but...
Doesn't matter.
I don't think it leaves her a hard shot is all. We make it. Yeah. If you guys like that better than trying to get the roll in. What do you see, Beth?
Well, yeah, I don't know what I see. Definitely not a draw.
I think that double's really hard, but...
Is it ever touching this though?
I mean, if it stops here, then she doesn't even have to. She can hit it anywhere, and it's... Yeah. I just mean if it does. Like, it's not a natural kill it. It's pretty thin.
So Beth Peterson just trying to decide where she could possibly put this shot stone that Corryn Brown won't be able to get rid of it. Talking about maybe freezing her own.
Can't freeze, eh?
Well... Either that or we go back to drying. But I mean, this is so there.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, I just don't know.
I mean, you can roll all the way. Like, if you roll here, that's really good. Yeah. Like sitting right here?
No, because this is coming this way. You want to put, I mean, you leave it here, she picks it.
Okay.
What is your first shot? Well, that's the only two shots. I'm just saying, is it going over?
That applause you hear is for the U18 game happening out on sheet 5. The two Saskatchewan U18 teams getting ready to go to Oakville in a week and playing a little exhibition game to warm up. So they've got some fans out here watching too.
That's it. That's all The doubles, I think you can make the double, for sure, if you like it.
So Beth Peterson just deciding she could make the double. She could double out these reds and lie 2. She could draw to the back button, force Corryn to have to try to take it out. Or she could make this hit and roll.
I don't know what I like. At least, I guess the benefit of this is throwing against 2.
Yeah.
I like the double.
Deal?
Yeah. Half draw?
Third, yeah.
So Beth Peterson, after all that discussion, has decided to just rip out the 2 reds, sit 2, and force Corryn Brown to have to shoot against the win, or shoot against the loss, rather. Never a bad strategy when you're down by 1 without the hammer. Likely Brown will hit, and then if she rolls out, you get a tie. If she misses it completely, you get a victory. So I think this is the best call for Team Manitoba. Could be the final stone we see Beth Peterson throw today. Looking to make a double. And she will make no mistake. Great shot from Beth Peterson, and so Corryn Brown will have to hit for the win. So yeah, there just wasn't really a great place for Peterson to ever draw there. And so when in doubt, just make the other team hit against the loss. And so as you can see here, Corryn Brown just needs the nose. A nose or a roll in will get it done. So final stone, Corryn Brown, a hit for the win. And like she's done all afternoon, Corryn Brown makes it look easy. The perfect hit and roll to the pin. And Team BC is your inaugural Best of the West winner. Corryn Brown, Aaron Pincott, Rachel Erickson, and Sam Fisher will take home the trophy and the $10,000 prize. Great game by Beth Peterson and her team from the Assiniboine Curling Club as well. For everyone here, I'm John Cullen. We'll be back with the men's final in about an hour and a half's time. 4:30 p.m. local. It'll be Team Colton Lott against Team Ryland Kleider. And then that'll be it for us here in Saskatoon. Hope you'll join us then. Goodbye.